Nothing much, just testing out the Wi-Fi. Just got the shower. So I have to go downstairs one time tonight. One time.
Shout out to Pure Rap Podcast.
Who?
Pure Rap Podcast. Because they put up a questionnaire just now about who would like asking their viewers who would they like to see on the show, and I tagged myself and you and Ultra Mag. Shout out to Ultra Mag. That's the homie from Jersey.
Ow.
And so they reposted it. So you might get a DM from them like asking to be a guest on their show.
Okay, appreciate it.
Because we're better to talk about this culture than us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's good promotion for your music as well. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
shout out to Rap. They're on YouTube.
Cool.
You know
Cool
what I mean?
beans. Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
You know.
Can you hear
Shout
me?
out to yes. Yeah, yo, shout out to your Wi-Fi. It's working right now.
Yes. Shout out.
Yes.
Because after the day I've had, I do not
Yeah.
want to go back downstairs and be connecting this bullshit.
Oh man.
The Pure Rap Podcast, right?
Yeah, Pure Rap.
They-
They're on YouTube. They got a YouTube channel. So yeah, they reposted it. So we might get a DM from them to be on their show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Only culture kings we dealing with here, yo.
You said happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
Gordon as a foreman.
What in the hell?
Everybody in the chat, can y'all hear me good? Just making sure, because I know how this motherfucker be. I know how this motherfucker be. Okay, y'all can hear me. Cool.
Bro, wait, we gotta talk about Swarm. That show is crazy. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we're gonna pre-record that Wednesday after I come back from my brother-in-law.
You didn't tell me that how crazy that show was gonna be, yo.
I mean, I didn't really think it was gonna be that crazy.
That shit is nuts. That chick is nuts, yo. Like it's definitely a horror. Like I know when like people was saying they were talking more about the nudity. I'm like, it's only a small amount. This is definitely a horror show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like serial killer type shit. Like Boston Strangler, Zodiac Killer, Son of Sam type shit.
Yeah.
She is bananas. Like, and the sad thing is, it's really fans out there like that.
It is.
They haven't taken it that drastic where they start killing off people that don't like their artists, but there's fans out there like that, and you can tell like Childish Gambino, he is clearly taking a shot at Beyonce and the Beehive. If he says anything otherwise, he's lying to himself because you can clearly see that Naja chick is definitely Beyonce.
Even that song sounds like Renaissance-esque.
Right. And you got Chloe on there, and it's Beyonce's her protege. She's Beyonce's protege. You know what I'm saying? Like that show is definitely for the Beehive. He tells you before the episode starts, this is not fiction.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? He's already letting you know, like, yo, you could interpret it how you want to. If you feel like it's about Beyonce and the Beehive, that's what it is. Wow, that chick was nuts, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her best shit ever. Like, I've seen her in other roles. I've seen her in other films and stuff, but this is her best shit right now.
I feel you. Okay. Shit. Okay, what time is it? We're gonna start this in about 12 minutes, and we get some more people up in this bitch. Shout out to that boy Mike. We just did a dope stream last night. Just reacting to some wine art episodes. Shout out to my boy right there.
Mike.
But I have to do some editing because fucking Wi-Fi had to fuck up on me last night.
Right.
Yeah,
Shout out
that's
to
one thing I might start doing. I might start doing more reactions these days.
yeah. Shout out to BJ.
Yes, BJ.
Like he liked the asking us who was he didn't I guess he didn't know who was the first child rapper.
Yeah,
It wasn't Shelly. No, it wasn't Shelly. Because ABC came out before him.
yeah. And you have to remember Roxanne Shante.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, wasn't she like 16 when she came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met this dude with the name of a hat. What's up?
Right.
Roxanne,
She Ali was great
Roxanne.
though. I was a huge She Ali fan for his first album. What was that? 91 that came out. Yeah,
You're
man.
92.
Fab-
Still saying that.
Yeah, Fabulous Chi. That was my shit. It's just a shame we didn't get the second album, but you know, it's a great album.
Yes, sir. You.
Juice Crew.
It's everybody's birthday today. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's Aries, man. We running deep right now.
Right. Um, I'm gonna go downstairs just get some syrup right quick.
All right. J.O. Felony, yes, he is underrated. Not a lot of people talk about him.
His first two albums I love.
Yeah. Def Jam, when he was on Def Jam. Definitely. Yes. Rest in peace, Teddy Pendergrass, the legend. Easy E. Classic. Classic joint right there. Oh yeah. Just finally talking about this album.
Okay. Yeah, Antoine, because they took some samples off streaming and shit. So Sam said I prefer De La Soul is Dead over this
Oh,
album. I'm not mad about that. Not mad.
I was off my kilter, so that knocked my head on the.
I gotta learn to breathe. Shit.
you gotta learn to breathe?
Yeah,
What you mean?
I be doing so much shit at once.
Yeah, man, you gotta, smell the roses and
You said what?
stop. You gotta stop for a minute and smell the roses. solve the problem.
Shit. I just be wanting to be on top sometimes, I guess.
I feel you.
Especially when I see motherfuckers doing better than I am and shit. Okay. Sometimes I just lie. I could be doing so much better sometimes, you know?
Right.
Okay. Shit. Okay. 3. It's a magic number.
Yes.
So it's official. I'm not doing no more reviews on my bed now. which kind of sucks. But it's all good. It's not the end of the world. So y'all enjoying Daylight month? Y'all enjoyed that this month?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, never thought we would
They
actually
allowed my
talk about all
disco.
that.
That was good. You know.
Yeah. Okay, about 3 more minutes. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. But yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk more about the smelling roses after we get off.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed your birthday?
Yeah, it was good, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Aries, man. All the Aries across the world, man. So many. There's a lot of Aries in my family alone. My grandfather's birthday was yesterday. My other grandfather's birthday is today. You know, both of them rest in peace. Dan Ross is an Aries. We got a whole bunch of Aries, man.
It's springtime.
Shout out to 80s and 90s Jamar. He's an Aries. Sydney, she's an Aries. Shout out to them. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Antoine said my introduction to De La was 88 on WBLS mixtape song Like the Clock Left Over 3 feet track. And plug tuning later 91 Buddy and Ghetto Thing around 91. I heard Ring Ring Ring.
Oh, dope. Oh, you an OG Daylight fan. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever you are.
All right.
What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing this lovely Monday morning, Sunday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
Yo.
And we're actually going to conclude with the De La Soul month. And what better way to conclude this month than taking it back to the top, taking it back to the classic, taking it back to the beginning. 3 Feet High and Rising, 1989. This song came out January 24th to be exact. Actually, scratch that, March 3rd. Stupid Wikipedia. March 3rd to be exact. on Tommy Roy Records. Prince Paul produced. It came out with 8 singles. Plug
Greetings,
Tuning,
fellas, and welcome
Plug Tuning, Hot Holes in My Lawn, Buddy, I Know, Me, Myself, and I, Say No Go, Magic Number, and Tread Water. You know, no, only guest appearances are the Younger Brothers and Q-Tip. They kept it in house. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So let's let you guys know this was not originally planned as part of Daylight Month. Originally, I was supposed to have done the AOI, one AOI the first week and the next AOI the second week, but with the good people on YouTube looking back at this, I originally did this review back in 2016. Blocked my shit a couple weeks ago.
But why did they do that though?
Because back at the time when I used to do the reviews, I used to play the album when I'm doing the review.
Right.
And I guess with everybody now being a De La fan, they're like, you know what? Since De La's in streaming now, they want to do all this copyright bullshit.
Right.
Which again, but at the same time, I'm grateful I'm reviewing this because it's a hip hop classic, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Have my opinion changed? I still love it.
Mm-hmm.
I still love it. You know what I'm saying? I won't say my opinion changed too much,
right.
But compared to when I did the review then to now, just interesting to see where it still stands. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy how I did a review 7 years ago and they all of a sudden now want to block my shit, which I'm just looking at myself like, really, YouTube?
Right.
But then motherfuckers be playing songs. They be incorporating reality TV show clips in their shit. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get copyrighted. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to make this a fuck YouTube kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So we all know the story about 3 Feet High and Rising. You know, De La Soul released this album at a tail end of the 80s. You know, not the tail end of the golden age of rap, because the golden age of hip hop was just really in full swing, which personally, I consider the years the 88 to 96 to be the golden age of hip hop, if you ask me.
Right.
Well, I would say 96, 97.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 97 has some heat.
I think there was a lot of great years in the 90s, so it's hard to pick.
There was a lot of great years, but before hip hop really became global, because you know, with the shiny suit era, and then of course with TRL coming out and shit like that. You know, when hip hop was just exclusively for us. If that makes sense.
Facts.
And this was one of those albums that just was a benchmark for hip hop, because you know, with recently when we talked about albums like Third Basis, the Cactus album, which I personally feel like it was very influenced by this album.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing about albums like this, it will be like the sampling, how unorthodox the sampling was. Because back in the day, you know, the main motherfucker people sampling was James Brown,
Parliament.
Well, Parliament was really happening like late 80s, but I see what you're saying. The dude that made that song "Get Out My Life, Woman," they use that drum break, the synthetic substitution drum break. Niggas, the meters, of course, the meters and shit.
Right.
They also came out and pretty much, you know, had their own kind of sound. Like I feel like with this album, it just proved the goodness of sampling, you know.
Right.
And yeah, you know, if you guys listen to the album on streaming now, certain samples got taken out and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And also too, he's like they have to give, of course, copyright to like original songwriters and samples, and that's why like on YouTube when they drop what's the song, the Say No, I think like the I know song, they cap De La Soul featuring Otis Redding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like just so they can clear the shit, you know.
Right.
So it's interesting, like listening to this album now, because now when people sample these days, they like to take this whole song, don't even do shit, just take the whole song,
Right.
add a little 808s, like Meek Mill and Chris Brown, perfect example. When they did that
Mhm.
sample, that 2020 song, whatever you want. I forgot which song the name was. I don't fuck with Meek Mill, but I hated how they used that sample because
Right.
they didn't do shit. They just took the whole fucking song.
That was I think that was on Meek's second album.
Oh, for real?
The joint he did with Chris Brown. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
listening to it.
Well, you better than me because I can't listen to the album. But yeah, they just literally took the whole song. They didn't do shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even even Chris Brown when he sampled that Michael Jackson "Human Nature" song, they
Um,
didn't fucking do shit. They just took the whole fucking song, did a whole fucking bridge and everything like that.
right.
When sampling, you take a piece of the song, loop that shit, fuck up the
Mhm.
pitch, fuck up the timing, fuck up everything. You know what I'm saying? But make that shit authentic.
Right.
You know, this album, yeah, this album, EPMD, Strictly Business,
Mhm.
Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique. Even though I know you don't really care for Paul's Boutique like that,
It's okay. I just think it's overrated as hell. I mean, I don't know. It's for me. I
I
don't
don't
think it's a,
know.
a classic album, but
We gotta agree to disagree. That
okay.
I mean, to me, Check Your Head is their magnum opus, but in
Really,
terms of influence, you
their
said
best
what?
album to you is Check Your Head.
Yes,
Wow.
my Paul's Boutique and Check Your Head are my two favorite
Yeah,
albums from them.
that's a great album. I still got Ill Communication and Hello Nasty over them, but they have
Yeah,
multiple classics though.
they do. Ill Communication. Whew,
Yeah,
that was that album. That album does not get
definitely,
this just view sometimes. It's like
definitely.
everyone knows that song for Sabotage. I'm just
Uh
like,
huh.
nigga. They had more hip hop shit like Root Down,
Hmm.
fucking get it together with Q-Tip. Oh my
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the thing is, I didn't even like Sabotage when it came out because I was
Oh
like, yo,
wow.
they doing some grunge shit. What is this? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even like
Oh,
it.
can't stand
That
it.
song
I
grew on
need
me
to
like
stand it.
over the years, yo. But
I
like
love
if the
Sabotage.
album was whack, I would have been like, yo, like what is this they dropping? What is it? But they made like everything else on there was fire.
I love Sabotage to this day, man. Oh, don't have me driving my car with that song playing. Don't have me driving my car with that song playing and shit.
Um,
But at the same time, man, I feel like Ill Communication. I'm gonna go back to Daylight. I feel like Ill Communication was like their most hip hop album. If that makes sense.
I love it. It was
It
great.
was so New York and shit. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, but back to De La Soul. Yeah, man. So like I said, I barely took notes on this record and like just to see. I'll try to see if I can find some stuff that I didn't know, but it is what it is. And I know I show you guys this all the time. If you guys want to read up more about this album, check out this book right here, the Check the Technique one. My only gripe about this book, they skip certain tracks, which kind of pissed me off, and
Right.
they skip certain fucking tracks on this record, which kind of irritated my soul. I mostly prefer the second volume because they will talk about like a lot more of the albums and shit, you know. But hey, it's this, it's a good hip hop book, and no, it's not as biased as the Kumo D book. Just to let you know, yeah, your favorite hip hop book. Let me stop. Let me stop. But yeah, let me show you what the album looks like. This is what the album looks like. All day. This is the Daisy era, the era that they did not fucking like, because people started calling them hippies. I know they did an appearance on Arsenio Hall show with me, myself, and I, and Arsenio called them the hippies of hip hop, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of took offense by that, and they also got mad because of the fact that the credits were playing when the song was they were performing this on the credits was already playing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, just to let you guys know, this is actually the 2001 reissue, and the thing about this version is the fact that it comes up with some extra tracks, like because the last track on the OG copy is actually wait a minute, hold up. Oh wow, okay, interesting. So Yeah, so this is a 2000 issue. So they have like some like the plug tuning original 12-inch version and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because they finally dropped this on CD back in I think 2001. I think so. Yeah, but yeah, man. Like I said before, that's why people were asking me how you feel about De La being on stream. I'm just like, well, I could care less because I got a lot of the albums on physical. So
Right, right.
physical wins. That's what I always say. Pissing people off for that shit, but hey.
It's good for them that they could get paid off for that though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
You know.
it's good for them. They can get paid off and it's a whole new fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whole new generation of fans. Because back in the day, it's like the music was on. You just forgot about De La, and it's crazy too because without De La, we wouldn't have like Tribe, Farside, Kanye, MF Doom. Um, I'm gonna be real, Gravediggers. Like a lot of the shit we wouldn't fucking have. Prince Among Thieves album.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the 3 Feet High and Rising album. Not only not only do I call this album the best album, hip hop album of 1989, it might even be the best album of '89. Period. Really, just to keep it a buck with you guys. So yeah, man. So this album has like 23 tracks, a long ass album, but it has a lot of skits to keep the listener entertained. If that makes sense. So yeah, man. Let's get this shit started. So track number one is the intro, pretty much. It has like, and again, De La Soul with their skits, man. I'm telling you. So the album has like four contestants, and it consists of the three plugs and Prince Paul. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much, it's just like a game show kind of question. They ask like some ridiculous ass questions. You know what I'm saying? It just pretty much sets the whole tone of the album. With that, it just sets the whole tone of the album. And again, Dr. Dre, they did the whole $20 stack pyramid off this Chronic album. I wouldn't be surprised if he was influenced by them when he did that
Right.
skit. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm. Yeah, it was great. It's something different. It was like a game show skit, and you had like the different contestants. You had Pos was playing the contestant number three, and how he loved Twizzlers, and the alligator Bob, and blood sucking freaks just like your mama. And the the host was asking them shit like, how many times the Batmobile had a flat tire. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, we all probably thought about that at one point. You know what I'm saying? But to hear it on a skit like that, it was dope.
yeah, it was very dope indeed. Yeah, I actually like the intro. It definitely sets the tone of the album. You know what I'm saying? Um, track number two, the magic number. I mean, wow, we already coming out with some heat. You know what I'm saying? This song sounds like something you would hear like on Schoolhouse Rock, Sesame
Right.
Street. You know what I'm saying? Again, we have clever usages of samples. Speaking of Schoolhouse Rock, they had the three. It's the magic number. They got that from Schoolhouse Rock.
Right.
Um, I love the usage of the Led Zeppelin sample when it comes to that drum break. I'm not gonna say which Led Zeppelin song it is. Y'all should find that out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, very pretty dope track. I love Posdnuos' line when he said, "Unless your name's Brewster, because Bruce is a punk. Parents, let's go, because there's magic in the air." I definitely feel like this is another one of their signature songs. Love it.
I felt like the whole album has a 60s, 70s sound to it. Schoolhouse Rock, Partridge Family, type of sound, and It would
Interesting.
almost be like if the '60s sounded hip hop, this album would be the soundscape for it. This is what hip hop would sound like in the '60s, and I love the beat that they have for it in the scratch. A heavily sampled track. You know, there's a lot of
Right.
samples on this song. True Goy, rest in peace. You know, he said, dance to this, fix and flex every muscle. Space can be filled if you ride like my lumber, advance the tune, but don't do the hustle. Shake, rattle, and roll to my magic number. I loved it, man. It's a classic record.
Yes, sir. All right. Track number 3, Change and Speak. Now, this was actually the reworked version of this song, Freedom of Speak. That was the B-side to the plug tuning single. You know what I'm saying? Again, a nice little mid-tempo, chill kind of track. You know what I'm saying? Pretty cool track. Not really one of my go-to favorites, but again, don't really dislike it either.
Yeah, this was dope, man. I love the horns on it. You know, the beat was fire.
Yes, fire indeed. Alrighty. Track number 4 we got is Cool Breeze on the Rocks. Now, I remember when talked about this record. I talked about this record when I did the original version, and I I kind of said some shit like I feel like they just sampled just to sample, like find any
Right,
song or show that said rock.
right,
And it's crazy because if you listen on the Spotify version, they shortened the track on the original version is like 48 seconds, but I think they shortened it to like maybe 17, 20 something seconds. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's a coincidence. But anyway, let me stop. So yeah, Mace did his thing on the scratches. You know, I love the fact that he picked all these rocks. I recognize a couple of rocks, like I recognize the Michael Jackson rock with you. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I think they, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they also had Queen We Will Rock You, but I could be wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? Like again, if you hear a song that has a rock in it, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
then quote unquote it was sampled on this track. So yeah, it
Right.
was pretty straight.
That was clever of them to do that and incorporate the different rock expert excerpts from different songs and stuff from artists, and that was cool.
Right. All right. Next track we're going to talk about is "Can You Keep a Secret?" Um, well, they didn't keep the sampling a secret, but let me stop. Let me stop.
Yeah,
So
that's why
yeah,
they blocked you
this.
you before. You taking shots at them.
So like again, this is just a silly kind of
BJ was
skit.
good. You need to be on here with us about this, man.
Oh, BJ's in the building.
Yeah,
Oh, what's up, B? You said hip hop Sergeant Pepper. I've
yeah,
heard that plenty of times when it came to this
I
album.
agree. Yeah, I just said this album sounded like it was from the '60s.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty much like a silly song, you know what I'm saying? Reg. Yo, why you talking about fucking business out, Antoine? I ain't got no fucking dandruff, nigga.
Mike was good.
It's
No,
just fucking
that's what dude was whispering on the song. Remember?
oh, cause you said my name like Reg have
Right.
dandruff, but okay.
Right. The dude on the song is whispering. Prince Paul has dandruff.
Yeah. my B. I just saw my name and shit. I was like, okay. But yeah, it's like they're just telling different sequels with one of like again, pretty cool track. Like it.
Yeah, I like the beat. Is this supposed to be a skit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it was cool. I mean, you had somebody, like I said, you had somebody whispering all kind of type of different things. Pa says dandruff and Prince Paul needs a haircut and shit. It was cool.
All right. Tim, what's up? Mike, what's good?
It was good.
Appreciate the Love on the Sylvia album. I definitely gotta release that Wine Out video. They're gonna laugh their asses off though. But anyway, next track we got is Jennifer Taught Me Derwin's Revenge. Pretty cool track right here. You know what I'm saying? pretty much when they talk about Derwin, it was pretty much a friend that they used to have that was on fucking crack. You know, he was a basehead, pretty much, which Basehead was the originator of crackhead. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's like I'm just because you know how these young kids are like, what's a basehead and shit. Like, it's pretty much a crackhead, but a classy crackhead.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, this is pretty much one of those kind of tracks right here. Pretty funky track. I like it. You know, again, I like it. You know, it's pretty smooth.
This was dope. Definitely had a nice beat, and I'm assuming like they were like in love with a girl named Jennifer, and
Yeah,
You had True Goy saying, access to her code. Love struck was my mode. Took a look, dropped my textbook. Jennifer, oh Jenny. I like that beat. And yeah, it was like a different song, for De La, doing like you know, a love song for this girl that they had a thing for, and I liked it.
yeah. Mm, interesting. Alrighty. Next track we got Ghetto Thing. This is pretty much a song they're talking about. You know, the ill wills, the ghetto, self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? Both Paus and Dave did a thing on this one right here. I love the bass line on this record too. I feel like the
Yeah.
bass line really set the song to its tour.
hmm
Um, pretty cool track. I like it.
This was great. Love the bass line, scratching the beat. True Goy, he said, Rich is the one to blame when bullets blow. Either either Peter, Jane, or John or Joe. But Joe can't shoot a gun, he's always drunk. Peter's pimping Jane and John's a punk. Infested are the halls, also the brains. Daddy's broken down from ghetto pains. Mommy's flying high. The truth is shown. The kids are all alone because it's just a ghetto thing. So again, like this is another type of song where they're talking about ghetto life, and it was fire. I think this should have been a single as well. Like this was, I forgot how dope this was, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been years since I heard this album, and coming back to it now, I'm like, yo, this shit was great. This was their versatility on this whole album alone. They were just like ahead of their time, back in '89.
Right. Yeah, man. 89, man. Shit. All right. Next song, Transmitting Live from Mars. Um, this is a very interesting track because this is a song that they sampled the Turtles, and the Turtles sued them for it because the Turtles sued them for copyright infringement, and pretty much this lawsuit pretty much cost them a lot of money and shit, and this pretty much was one of the lawsuits that almost put a death nail on sampling, but it wasn't until Biz Markie did a
Right,
Alone Again, and that Gilbert O'Sullivan dude sued him. That's another
right,
story for a different. Well, actually, I did talk about that. Actually, I did a review on Biz Markie's "I Need a Haircut," which I feel like that's his best album, if you ask me.
right.
But yeah, this is a pretty straight record.
They had some French shit going on. on this. I don't know what the hell they were saying. And I took French for like 8 years, and I didn't learn a damn thing except for the days of the week and hello, my name is. But they were saying some French shit on here. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool.
Right. Yeah, definitely a cool track. All right. Next song we got is "I Know." This is a song, another one of their signature songs. Steely Dan. They use a Steely
Mhm.
Dan Peg sample. They sued them too. Well, Steely Dan sued a
This is
lot of
everybody.
rappers. They
Yeah.
sued everybody. So it's
hmm
no surprise. It's no fucking surprise that they went after De La. And I like the fact that they used the Otis Redding sample sitting on the dock of the bay. You know that
hmm
whistle that do
Yes.
do 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 do. I love
hmm
that record. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I know pretty cool track right here. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorites. amazing track. I'm saying, yeah, man, it's just a pretty love song. It's a love song to their one and only. Yeah, I like it. You know, classic track.
Fire. Dope ass sample, the beat, the bass line, the horns in it. You got True Goy saying, "May I cut this dance to introduce myself as the chosen one to speak? Let me lay my hand across yours and aim a kiss upon your cheek. The name's plugged too, and from the soul I bring you the daisy of your choice. May be filled with the pleasure principle and circumference to my voice." That's real poetic shit right there that he's saying. And
For
they
real.
had a way, they had a way with words and lyrics, especially on this album. A lot of these things they were saying on different songs, it was real poetic. The way that they were, presenting the lyrics, it was like in a poet form, more than a rap, form. And this was a great track, man. It was soulful, classic.
Yeah, definitely a classic track. BJ said, "I know might have been the most sophisticated sampling in hip hop." I never heard that before. I'm not mad about that. Yes, and it's like their sample just blended so well together. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like
I think that
mixed.
that the credit goes to Prince Paul for that.
Yes,
You know.
I agree. I've always loved their sampling, especially
Yeah.
those Prince Paul era albums.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
sometimes when rappers be sampling and shit, it's like, especially at that time, it's like they don't even mix it
Right.
as well and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, they wasn't they didn't just take the beat and just rap over it. Like they made use of that sample they were using.
right, alrighty. Next track we got is "Take It Off." I want to say that's the next talk. What did I say for "Take It Off"? This was like again another really a silly track right here. You know what I'm saying? This was pretty much a Prince Paul kind of ordeal where he was just making fun of like the corny motherfuckers and
Right.
shit like that too. I don't even write no notes for it, but it was alright.
I mean, it's basically like they just telling it had a dope beat, but they're like telling people, take off those shell toes, take those contacts off, shit like that.
Yeah, it's like just take it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Next track, a little bit of soap. We have another skit slash public service announcement where Paul is pretty much just telling motherfuckers to clean their ass.
Wash your
You know,
ass.
wash. You said what?
You're telling people to wash their ass with soap.
Exactly.
You know?
You know, wash your stinky asses and shit. I like it.
This was dope. It had like I really love the beat. They had like they sampled on the Stand By Me joint, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
I like the way that Prince Paul sampled that song. That's a classic record too. And basically you just got it's real short, it's just past the noose on this one. And he's just basically telling people, wash your ass. Like he's saying, before you even put on your silk shirt and fat gold rope, just take your big ass to the bathroom. Please use a little bit of soap. I liked it. I thought it was fire.
Definitely.
Yeah, it should have been longer. I agree.
Next track we got is Tread Water. Now, this was a very interesting track. This track was pretty much just Pross and Dove talking about the experiences, talking to animals and shit like that, just having weird adventures. It was like this was probably among the weirdest tracks, not just on this album, probably in daylight history. You know what I'm saying? But it gave me a laugh. I'm gonna say that right
Right.
now.
Yeah. The beat was fire. And again, like I said, like the way that they would a lot of their bars were like real poetic. You know what I'm saying? So like when you listen to True Goy's verse and he says, always look to the positive and never drop your head. For the water will engulf us if you do not dare to tread. So let's tread water. Like that's it sounds more, in poem form than just a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like when you listen to all of their albums, like along the way, they kind of like grew out of that. When you listen to like
Right.
especially like the latter albums like Anonymous Nobody and the Artificial Intelligence first two albums, like they sounded a lot different lyrically on those latter albums compared to like when you listen to this album, when you listen to De La Soul is Dead, you know, even Balloon Monster, you know what I'm saying? But I love the way that they approach each song on here with it was more of like more poetic than anything else.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. All right. Next song we got is "Potholes in My Lawn." To me, my favorite track on this album. It's a pretty much a metaphor for what I mean by potholes in my lawn. It's like people biting their style,
Right.
biting like lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Love the usage of the war sample. It's crazy because that yodeling sample
You
also
know,
came from
yeah,
right crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Line where Dove says, "It nipped my bud when I happened to fall into a spot where no ink or an ink blot was on the scroll. I just wrote me a new mot, but now it's gone because those suckers knew that I hate to recognize it every time I'm writing. It's gone." And then that's pretty real as fuck. It's like them to say how motherfucker like to bite their. And it's kind of like so they niggas like biting their own lyrics and styles,
right,
not even giving credit. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I pretty much like that. I like how he put those and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It,
And I like how the fact that they did a song, but they still made it more abstractual, if that
right,
makes sense. You know,
yeah. Is it
we
is it a are they talking about a certain group or artist?
as far as I know, no, nothing came to my knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Because
'cause
I
I guess
can't
at
think
that
of
time,
anyone that sounded like them. I don't think nobody sounded like them.
I agree. No one really sounded like them.
You know. Yeah, like 80. Like I said, like yo, when they did abstract, they really did it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at like, the title "Potholes in My Lawn," and you're like, what's this gonna be about? You know what I'm saying? And then like when you read the lyrics and Paz is saying, I presume that everyone's saying what to do when suckers are praying upon my well guarded spreadsheets. Or why hell does it send up fleets? Like you can just within those lines you can already tell like he's talking about somebody buying his style and you know what I'm saying and they were just different like they were just different. I don't feel like nobody sounded like them. You know what I'm saying? They might have had like people that were
Right.
inspired by what they were doing, but I don't feel like no artist sounded like them. They were just ahead of their time in '89. And, you know, this was a great song, classic record. The beat and the pianos on it, the bass line, classic.
Yes, classic track indeed. All right. Which leads us into the next track. "Saying No Go." If I had to pick a second favorite track off this album, this might be it.
Yeah.
You know, they were talking about like the crack epidemic with this one. Of course, they sampled my favorite Hall Note song.
Yes.
I can't go for that.
One of my favorites for
Love
sure.
that sample.
Hmm.
hmm And it's crazy too because they also had this song playing in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air a couple of times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like especially that first season. I remember the episode. I want
Right.
to say it was an episode in the cold open. Will and Ashley were dancing or some shit. It'll come back. It'll come back to me. But yeah, man. They were just pretty much talking about like of course the bass heads, how the crack was like a destroyer in the community. You know what I'm saying? So this was a real very 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 great song. Next to Potholes is my favorite.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: a lot of the singles are my favorite on this album.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You picked the right singles. Yeah.
they picked
This
the
was
right
great.
singles.
I was a huge Hall and Notes fan. Just like listening to Man Eater and I Can't Go For That and Sour Smile. So this was like like to hear a rap group at that time, sample a Hall and Notes record and one of my favorites. I'm like, this shit sound dope. Like they hooked up the sample hella good. The beat was fire. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about people hooked on drugs, which was a thing when the crack epidemic happened in the 80s, and we had Reagan as our president at that time, and that was a needed track. You know what I'm saying? Even from De La Soul, and it's another classic record.
I agree. Speaking of drugs, I might watch some Flavor Blood tonight.
Wow.
Anyway,
How does
um,
that
track
how does that come into this conversation?
because anybody that put
Oh man.
yeah. Plus, I need some humor right now. So on to Tubi, here I come. Um, next track we got is. Am I really that funny?
Oh
uh,
man.
is it really that?
Yeah.
do as do as De La does. That fucking sounds like a nursery rhyme or some shit. But
Right.
okay. Um, do as De La. This is just another one of those short songs, skit kind of song. Like it's like what should I say about this? It definitely has. I like the beat. I like it. Kind of has like a little block. I like the it's like weird ass random shit. I fucking love. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I like it.
It sounded like some Miami bass music that they were talking over, and you had like the DJs telling the DJs saying, if you like to drink some soda, let me hear you say Coca-Cola. And then you got some fake Andrew Dice Clay speaking guy in there, and I didn't know what that was going on. Like, what am I
The
hearing?
fake Andrew Dice.
And he sounded like Andrew Dice, like a fake Italian.
Rocco by baby. Top.
Right.
Rocco by baby. You're the treetop. Mama's
Right. Oh fuck.
like niggas were really that offended by that nigga. I was like, y'all were really offended by this nigga, really? Oh shit. Yeah. Shout out to Andrew Dice Clay. Shout out to that nigga, man. Anyway, man. That's what the '80s were offended by everything. Man. It's no different now, man. No different now.
Yeah.
Um, next song we got is a plug tuning. This is pretty much like their first single that they've done, but on this one right here, it's pretty much they renamed it plug tuning last chance to comprehend. I love the piano they use for that. Pretty dope. I like it.
Fire. I like this one more than part two. This one, I love the beat and the bass line for this.
Really.
It was great,
Yeah.
man. Like this is one of
Okay.
my favorites.
Definitely. All right. Track number 17, De La Orgy. Song is just some girl having an orgasm and shit. You know what I'm saying? This was Biggie's fuck you
Yeah.
interlude, fuck me interlude before the fuck me interlude, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And if you
And
guys know about that interlude ready to die, you'll go and shit.
right.
But yeah, it was pretty straight, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And this was like, it was similar to what Black Sheep did on their first album with the Le Menage a Trois
Right.
track with Q-Tip, and they had, at the end of the song they had Drez and Mr. Long and Q-Tip all moaning with the chicks. You know what I'm saying? So it reminded me of that Black Sheep track.
Right.
And they have like the Barry White sample beat on here, and yeah, I mean, It's not even the songs. It's like another skit.
I'm saying, which leads us to Buddy version. Let me just say that right now. Um, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I like the original version with the Jungle Brothers and Q-Tip, but to me, the remix,
Yeah.
the remix, fire.
Yes.
That's probably one of hip hop's first great remixes, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love the remix. Buddy, they're just talking about getting some buns, slapping cheeks, if that makes sense. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I like it. Shout out to the Jungle also did his thing. That Jungle Brothers, done by the Forces of Nature reviews, coming very soon. Really can't wait to talk about that one. So yeah,
I like both versions. The remix was great, and I think it was so huge that it just that became people's favorite. But the original beat, I love that. You know, you have so many quotables on here. Jungle Brothers did they thing, Q-Tip, De La, Africa, De La Soul, From the Soul, Black Medallions, No Gold, Hanging Out with Pros, Hanging Out with Mace, Buddy, 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 All in My Face, classic. That whole record, man, that whole native tongue, record was fire, man. I wish we had like a whole bunch of native tongue, posse joints like that. Like if they did a whole album, it would have been great. But I mean, that's definitely a classic record.
right. Definitely a classic record indeed. Alrighty. Next fucking track is Description, which again is like a pretty short kind of song slash skit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really write a lot of shit for this one, but eh, it's just pretty much just them just introducing themselves and
Right.
shit, and then Q-Tip of course. So yeah,
Yeah, this was dope. Had a nice beat. You got Paz saying, "I am plug one. I'm 19 years young. I love peace, so at least I think we need some fire."
yes, fire track indeed. Now, to many people, this is gonna be their most signature song. Bum 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 dun 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 dee, 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 dee. Let me stop. It's me, myself, and mirror, mirror on the wall.
The
Tell me,
wall.
mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my de la
Yeah.
clothes or is it just my de la soul? What I do ain't make believe. People
Believe.
say I sit and try, but when it comes to being de la, it's just me, myself.
Fire,
Yeah, man. I mean,
man.
it's no secret. They didn't really like this track, believe it or not. And that they did this track because they wanted to make Tommy Boy wanted them to do a commercial single. Because
Right,
labels say, well, we need something, to get the radio airplay. You know what I'm saying? So they did this song just to make fun of that ordeal. But here's a gag though. This actually became their most successful song. It was the group's only number one in the US
wow.
Billboard R&B charts. Topped the Billboard Hot Dance Club play charts too. Just like
Right.
EPMD's crossover when they were making
Hmm.
fun of commercial hip hop. That's what they were doing with this track, and it ended up being their
Right.
most successful song. Um, Antoine Sims said overrated song. I can see where y'all coming from that, and even
I
De La
know.
Soul
Naughty
would
was a
agree
part of
with
it.
you,
They
but
had Naughty had beef with De La. They wasn't a part of Native Tongues.
exactly. I can see what people say it's overrated, but at the same time, it's still a party kind of track. It did its job. You know what I'm saying? And whether they liked it or not, it really did represent their style. Like one's individuality and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like it's a good representation to what De La meant at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, they would redefine themselves in each album. They wanted to get further and further and further away from this kind of song. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's still, in my opinion, their most signature record.
I'm gonna say this compared to Baby Fat, compared to a lot of those songs that they did on Anonymous Nobody, like Greyhounds with Usher, you know, the shit they did with Little Dragon and Two Chains. This to me is way better than any of those other songs. Cause you could like
I,
even when this came out in '89, we didn't think mainstream. We didn't think, oh, you know, is it gonna get radio play? We didn't care about that shit. It was just a dope ass song to us, so that
right.
radio. It was so hot that radio had to play it because at that time, radio wanted to be in tune with what the streets were listening to, and we were listening to this. And I know the original song by Parliament, that not just Knee Deep, because my mom was playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it's like, again, like this is a record where like I grew up listening to the original that De La sampled, and they just made it into a huge hit single that everybody knows. It's like their signature song. You know what I'm saying? Now when you listen to like again, they ladder shit, the songs on Anonymous Nobody and Bionics, a lot of those songs they were going for radio play. This song here, we didn't have that mentality in '89. You know what I'm saying? So even if Tommy Boy felt like that, it was like everything turned out for the best anyway, because this was my introduction to them, and it's because everybody knows this song. It's like if you don't know any other De La record, you know this song because of the Parliament sample. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people
Right.
that are huge fans of George Clinton and Parliament, they know this record. And Prince Paul again just hooked up the sample that it was just catchy. You know what I'm saying? The chorus and what they're speaking about on there, like just being themselves and being different is great. You know what I'm saying? And it's a classic record.
I agree. I agree indeed. Track number 21. This is a recording for living in a full-time era. Can't create it with their title, man. Yeah, man. Pretty much, this was a cool record. You know what I'm saying? I like this song lyrically. It was alright.
Um, this was dope. I love the beat for it. The scratching. You got Pa saying "No time to rest." We got work in the studio. Studio supply is rest at no time. Like I love the wordplay by Pos and True Goy, like the way that they can use the same type of words and then switch it up with for another line. You know what I'm saying? And that was just brilliant by them. Like
Yeah.
definitely a good track.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that part. All right. Track number 22. I can do. I can do anything. This was like the last skit on the album. It pretty much used JJ Fad super saying shout out to my boy he fucks with JJ Fad. And it's pretty much just talking about, long story short, just how the power to be tries to add negativity to your positivity, if that makes sense. And I feel like they were making fun of the fact that I turned more commercial, but don't quote me. Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. You had like somebody beatboxing, and they're basically telling you like if I want to I can jump off this building. I can hold two pieces of doodoo in my hand. You know what I'm saying? That so their message is like, I took it like you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Like, almost like when Nas did I Can, it was the same thing, except Nas put like
Right,
actual historical facts in that song. That's why that's track was so dope. But when you listen to the chorus, you got the kids
exactly.
singing, "I know I can be what I want to be." It was the same message. You know what I'm saying? They Dilla, did it in their own Dilla way, and it was dope.
Definitely. All right. And then the last track, yeah, I'm gonna say this last track. Daisy Age. which is pretty much taking us back to the game show skit in the beginning, and no one was able to answer the questions right. And so, if you want to answer it, have a chance to win such and such t-shirt, such and such, like doing those, like when you have one of those like fan club kind of shit, you have one of those classic albums, and people say like Karis wants I Got Next, for instance, and shit. Let's just say that, and they have like all these jive rap merchandise t-shirt hats, whatever. This that fan something for the fans, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
it's pretty decent. And what is Aisha doing up this time? Okay.
yeah, really dope beat. Great way to end the album. And Paz and True Gore. I think this is one of their best songs lyrically. And what Paz was saying, platform witnesses. Witnesses show you to my show lab, fill you with my vocab, hope we have a spoon. Discuss contracts. You like the way I vocalize, we bring it to a compromise. My PA won't set up till noon. Loved his verse, and True Boy killed it as well. Definitely a great record.
Alrighty. Overall, have my opinion changed a lot since 2016? You know what? When it comes to, I'm gonna start off with the production. I feel like the production still aged much better. It aged very well. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I still do think like sometimes Paul was just sampling shit, just to sample shit. At the
Right.
time, it was, you know, and whether people whether it or not, sampling is part of fucking hip hop.
Yeah.
Whether you,
That's how hip hop
they
started.
took loops, right? They took them to be unorthodox. You can't just take fucking, let's just say, I'm just saying 90s R&B song like
Oh,
SWV's "I'm So Into You." You can't just take that, do the whole beat and shit like that. Don't even call it a song because you basically SWV. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I feel like with this album right here, it definitely laid the groundwork for equally sample heavy song albums in hip hop, such as The Chronic, all the way to College Dropout.
Right.
I would maybe I would even throw in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I do feel like lyrically this album definitely shows like the playful side of De La, the fun times of De La and shit too. But I feel like with this album, they definitely wanted to prove more in years to come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the most influential album, the best album. This might be my third favorite album from them. To me, Stakes is High. That's my number one. Number two, De La Soul is Dead. Then this album, and then I'll probably throw in Balloon Mind State as my fourth one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this album to me definitely was this album and Paul's Boutique were the benchmarks of 80s hip hop before the 90s exploded. If that
Right.
makes sense, it definitely laid the groundwork.
Mhm.
I will give this 5 mics. 5 mics is what I'm going to give this album. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hip hop class.
Definitely a great album. Prince Paul is one of the best producers ever, and he started skits on albums,
Yes.
and that's for any genre because R&B wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Country music and rock and roll, they wasn't doing that. And Prince Paul is the skit king. He started skits for all genres, and we have a lot of classic albums that had skits on it because of him, because of this album,
Right.
and hip hop started with sampling. That's how we started this genre. 50 years ago this year. That's how we started. So it was never, it should never be an issue about sampling. I think the issue with sampling is when they're using the same damn record, or if they're just
I
making
agree.
a whole album out of sample. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it started, yes, it started from sampling, but you have artists that's come along in this genre where they can do originality and it still be fire. You know what I'm saying? And I think Prince Paul, again, he gets all the credit because he don't just use the sample and just have the artist rhyme on the beat. Like he's actually using. He might use like a piece of a sample and then go to another sample. You know what I'm saying? This whole album is heavily sampled, but he used the samples in a great way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just sample.
Right.
I can go for that and have them just rhyme over that beat, or just take Funkadelics, not just knee deep and rhyme over the beat. Like he used so many different samples, and that's why he's great. And it has a 60s 70s hippie type of sound to it. The way that he did the production, it was well mixed and sequenced. I love the rhymes and see when this album came out, I was in fifth grade, so I like a lot of this shit that they were saying went over my head because this is like for me like the
Mhm.
first rap group I ever listened to that they were deep in a rhyme bag. You know what I'm saying? Like listening to Run DMC and Houdini, they didn't have the same rhyme style like De La. De La was just ahead of their time, and a lot of those songs like Potholes in My Lawn and I Know, it went over my head when I was in fifth grade. But now listening to this album again, it made perfect sense. And they're
Right.
both members from the group, they lyrically were just gifted. They what I'm saying, nobody sounded like them. I never heard no artist sound like De La. You know what I'm saying? And they were just in their
Right.
own lane. They were not afraid to be their own artist and be different from whatever was playing on the radio at that time. And they never cared about going mainstream or being commercial. That wasn't them. And I'm glad that they went against the grain and they didn't try to sound like somebody from Bad Boy or somebody from Death Row or somebody from you know Cash Money or whatever. They just had their own lane, and the real hip hop heads appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? And they rhymes were just great. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of poetic, more poetic verses on here to me than just simply spitting 16 bars. You know what I'm saying? And it's this is a different type of rap album. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the most influential albums ever for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
every track on here was fire. Like there's not a bad song on here. Me, Myself, and I, Say No Go, Ghetto Thing, The Magic Number, Buddy, I Know. Every track on here was great. This is a 5 mic classic many times over. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like for me, they
Yeah.
first 4 albums were their best stuff. I can't I don't even want to rank it because it's like I feel like if I rank any of the first four, it's like doing an injustice to the other three. You know what I'm saying? So this is a
Right.
classic. De La Soul is Dead. Balloon Mind State. Stakes is High. I love those albums. Those are forever timeless hip hop classics in my opinion.
Yes. Very well said. What regards to De La Soul, De La Soul this month. That's pretty much how I want to remember them. Just individuality, just them being themselves. They can be silly. Some of the songs can be quirky. Some of the songs can even be downright dark at times. But at the same time, De La, they didn't want to change for nobody. Don't change for no shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that we actually did this.
Yeah,
And I want to say rest in peace to the late, great Trugoy, aka Dove. Thank you
yeah,
so much for all the music you guys brought us.
definitely.
Whether De La Soul comes out with another or not, we never know.
They
But
just give us like unreleased shit. I'd rather them just give us like the unreleased stuff than anything new. It's not gonna be the same.
right,
Just get. They have a
I
shitload of
agree.
unreleased songs and stuff. They could definitely give us albums for years with unreleased stuff.
Right. All right. I have a few notes before because I gotta work on a few things. So I do have tomorrow at 1 p.m. is going to be part 6 of the R&B albums list. I know originally I said Wednesday, but I'm actually going to spend some time with my brother-in-law. We're going to go see Cocaine Bear. Really cannot wait to do that. Whew.
Yes.
Can't wait for that one. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. before I go to work, I want to this quick as fuck. You know what I'm saying, because I gotta, as long as I'm out of here after at 2:30, anytime before 2:30, then I'm good and ready. Also, this is gonna be the last week of the disco week. Oh, disco month, excuse me. And honestly, thank God, because I do want to talk about some hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I did enjoy. I did enjoy the disco. I did enjoy talking about. I'm just like, yeah, we gotta back to the hip hop side of things. You know what I'm saying? So Tuesday is gonna be a double review with Sister Sledge, We Are Family, and Sylvester with the Step 2 album. So I want to say both albums came out in 1979. So Wednesday, I are going to pre-record on the Swarm miniseries. Whenever I come back from my watching Cocaine Bear, we're going to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you cannot wait to talk about that. Thursday, you said what?
That is a wild show. That shit was wild.
Wild.
I'm telling you, it's like nothing I ever
Yes.
seen before. Like Donald Glover is crazy. Like he made his best shit right there. You know what I'm saying? He made his best shit right there.
I mean, so you think that's better than Atlanta?
Well, I'll only watch this first season of Atlanta. I wasn't a huge fan of that show like that. You know what I'm saying? But I get what he was doing with that show. But this is not Atlanta at all. This is totally different. This is like fucking
For real. I want to.
drugs, sex, and murder. You know what I mean? And
I sue that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I don't think they could have showed this on AMC. Like I know Atlanta was on AMC. Yeah,
FX.
they couldn't have showed that on there. They had to show it on Amazon because the shit that Shorty was doing was just crazy.
As soon as I saw her watch Oh Boy getting in and shit like that, I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be.
Yeah. He was definitely not making no apologies, and he was definitely going at Beyonce and Beehive on that.
Oh shit! Can we talk about Paris Jackson? Paris Jackson in that?
Yeah, Paris Jackson, right? She was in that. You know, you had a cameo by Chloe. She wasn't in the whole series like they're making it out to be. She was only like in what 1 or 2 episodes, but yeah, this was a good series. It's only 7 episodes, but he did his thing.
Hell, Leon went crazy in that fucking.
Leon. Yeah, Leon was in that. Forgot about Leon.
Ooh,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
like,
Yeah.
but yeah, we gonna talk about that Wednesday. We gonna talk about that. Then Thursday we're gonna talk about the Bee Gees with Children of the World.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw in the Gloria Gaynor Love tracks for the week after next.
Okay.
Next week and shit like that too, because I know y'all want me to hear my thoughts on that record. And then Sunday is gonna be the finale. We're gonna discuss Shalimar with their first 2 albums, Uptown Festival and the Disco Gardens album, aka their disco albums. We just want to get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one I really cannot wait to talk about, some Shalimar and shit. Cause
right.
Yeah, one of the Shalimar albums came in the fucking mail today too. I ordered, so
Nice.
yeah.
So I don't have those 2. I got the Friends album.
Next, I know. That
I
album,
thought
I
that's
know
the
that
one we
album.
wanted to talk about. That's the one with one of the biggest hits on there.
I know we're gonna talk chronologically, and shit. So
Okay.
that one might be sometime late April, maybe early May, hopefully.
Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna do like one Shalimar album a week, so that's probably by late April. But trust me, I can't wait to talk about that album too. Because
yeah,
spoiler alert, that might be my favorite.
That's my favorite for sure.
But yeah, because I didn't think I was gonna. I don't want to say too much. I didn't as much, but it has some heat. That's all I'm gonna say. It has some heat.
Yeah.
Even Jeffrey did his thing on vocaling.
Oh yeah.
I was okay, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get him in there. Yeah.
Cause Jeffrey wants to say that Michael Jackson stole the moonwalk from him and shit.
Come on.
So everyone said he was
the
but nigga with moonwalk. That's what killed me.
How could he teach Michael and Michael did it better than him? You know what I'm saying? I don't buy that.
Shit. Yeah, Jeffrey needs to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
I call Jeffrey the
It was the irrelevant number that nobody talked about.
Yeah, man. But yeah, a lot of good shit. Then we got the Gene Craig discography breakdown that's coming next week.
Yes.
I was so fucking all her stuff, but you know what? I can get lots, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
After the honeymoon, and I can't wait for all that shit. But yeah,
Novaka.
Krishna, man. Yeah, man.
Go back and watch the review. It was great.
Yeah. Oh wait, shout out to the niggas that be donating for this fucking channel, because y'all be giving us some good shit to donate. Like Christian giving us the Betty Davis album, which I fucking love. I don't give. Then Mike talking about giving us the Sylvia album and shit too. All this black woman love. I like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all this black woman love and shit.
And it's Women's Month also.
So appreciate it. Yeah, Women's Month. Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, so if y'all want to give a request, throw in some donations and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and usually when we get requests, we always make those priorities and shit. Mind this was Disco Month anyway. We
even if I don't like the album,
Sylvia and
we still make it a priority.
Yeah, if we don't like it, we'll still talk about it.
Right.
Because sometimes niggas be in there feeling like, how you requesting? How you want to talk about shit with you? And it was like we just giving our fucking thoughts and shit.
I didn't like it. I'm not gonna give some fake ass review because you paid us. If the album was, if I didn't like it, I'm gonna say I didn't like it.
Right. But yeah, man. In case you guys just came or was living under a rock, we were finishing up talking about De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising. YouTube, I didn't play no De La music, so don't block me for this. Yeah. Alrighty. Appreciate this try as usual. 23 tracks.
Yeah.
These rap albums can't even make it past 11 tracks.
Right? Tracks. They could barely do 10 tracks. You don't want 23. So.
And mind you, they have all these damn tracks and shit like that. Only two of the solo tracks and shit.
Right.
Yeah. That's God, man. Back in these days, these niggas were hungry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Other than that, appreciate this try as usual. You know what I'm saying? Guys, check out all the De La Soul albums we done. I've done De La Soul reviews as far back as maybe 2015, maybe 2014, 15, one of them years and shit. So we didn't just start doing this fucking shit.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.